Now, a change of pace. Interesting story, this one. The women's suffragette movement was the struggle, of course, for women's rights to vote and run for office. In 1886, there was a woman suffrage cookbook published, a collection of recipes mainly by women. And I've just had a bit of a chat with our guest. There's some all sorts of interesting culinary delights in there.
It certainly is. And our next guest, who is a head chef from Song Kitchen in Sydney, Liz Mason, who has formerly worked in London, Hong Kong, and inspired by this book and has some, well, basically recreated some of the recipes at her restaurant that also supports social change and supports the YWCA in Australia. It's great to have you on the show, Liz. Congratulations on all of your success. But let's talk about this book and the inspiration behind why you wanted to cook up these recipes.
Thank you. I was kind of inspired to do it because one of the ladies at the YWCA, one of my colleagues, she had one of these recipe books in storage and she was talking to me about it. Just kind of blew my mind that it even existed. So working with the YWCA made sense that as a women's charity, we hold essentially a fundraiser using all the recipes from the books and then we can donate it back to helping them.
1886,
yeah.
no modern ovens, no microwaves.
No KitchenAids.
No KitchenAids.
No, that's right.
Very.
No Thermomix, no.
No Thermomixes. Very different kind of cooking. What kind of recipes are we looking at?
Well, everything is incredibly rich. It's butter heavy, cream heavy. I don't really think they cared about their hearts or being healthy. But it's all really tasty. It's quite hearty. Across both books, there's this amazing theme that runs through where you get all these kind of uplifting feeling all through the recipes, where it's
What's
kind of
a couple of your favourites?
There's a turtle soup. Turtle soup. It teaches you to murder a turtle. You've got to hide the cleaver from the turtle because apparently they're quite crafty. I don't think we really need turtle recipes anymore. Another one is oysters, which calls for braising 20 dozen oysters. Not really a thing that we can do in Sydney anymore. And I also don't think it'll be that delicious, braising them dredged in flour.
What about some of the ones you managed to recreate?
They've been delicious. Well, at least I think they have been. Yep. There was a brisket that we braised in ale and cloves, and then that got served with pickled green walnuts. Beautiful. We did these amazing little spinach dumplings. They were gnocchi. We've made everything from scratch, so it's been quite time-consuming. So with the dumplings, we made like a really thick cream to go in it, so just separating all the way out of it, which was really fun. It was a nice learning experience for the whole kitchen, really.
Let's go back to 1886, as you said, that the cookbook is just fascinating, but it was a time when, well, women weren't able to vote. It was New Zealand, wasn't it, that actually had the first voting for women?
Yes, New Zealand in 86, I believe, and then Australia followed in 1902.
Yeah, we were the first two countries.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was not just for people from 21 over. You had to be married and you had to have all different...
So many laws around it. No Indigenous people were allowed to vote. All around the world, it took a lot of time to even out who could. Switzerland only joined the suffrage movement in 1990. I think they finally gave women the vote, which is crazy. It's not that long ago.
Absolutely.
I think it was 1928 that it was equal across the world, wasn't it, in terms of being able to vote for the same reasons.
With the exception of a few countries,
the countries that were able to.
Yeah. Finally, how do you feel this has all worked for you? What do you reckon you've taken out of this whole experience?
It's given me real appreciation for the fact that, I mean, I kind of grew up with the idea that the women's suffragettes, they were out there doing it for themselves, but instead they've still got their families, they're still feeding their husbands, they're still looking after the kids, but at the same time they're multitasking and going out there for the fight. It was incredible. I learned a lot through both books.
Well, good on you.
Yeah.
And for more information on your restaurant and the
YWCA, you can go to songkitchen.com.au for the restaurant, and then YWCA is a women's charity, and you can go to ywca.com.org.
Good on you. Fantastically creative, and I love the kick back into history. Well done.
Thank you.
Good on you.